Okay, film is making me better. Let me explain. So if you follow along with any of my videos, you know the vibes. Less is more, story over gear. And for me, that looks like this. My Ricoh GR II digital point and shoot, my Nikon Lite Touch AF film point and shoot, and my 35mm SLR Pentax SV. This is my rotation for street, for portraits. This is what I use, and I've been using this for a little while now. Now, as much as I love the Ricoh GR II, like any digital camera, you just get complacent. It's inevitable. And that is obviously because you have unlimited frames. You make a mistake, whatever. I missed the moment, no sweat, I'll just keep shooting. Yes, this is one way to shoot, but is it the most creative way to shoot? Is it the most intentional way to shoot? Well, that brings me to today's topic, how film makes you better. So my brief experience shooting street on film really solidifies the concept of shooting with intention. But let's break that down a little bit more, because I feel with my Ricoh GR II, I've been shooting with intention for the last few years. See, my Ricoh GR II is compact and discreet. That was intentional. It's really lightweight, also intentional. And for its size, its camera sensor and image quality, fantastic. Again, intentional. So why shoot film if all these boxes have already been checked off on my digital camera? Well, let me break it down. Okay, so number one, shooting film forces you to be present and in the moment, because you know that you have a limited amount of frames, and therefore you have limited amount of stories that you can tell. So each moment that you create or document, you have to be sure about that. All right, so number two, making the unknown. So film obviously slows you down, and you really have to understand the fundamentals of light and how it interacts with your camera and its settings, your film stock, and how it's going to affect your final image. So you see, this is paramount because you can't see your results immediately on the back of your film camera. Matter of fact, you can't see your results for 2-3 days, if not weeks, depending on your budget. So you really do have to trust the process, and understanding your camera will really give you the confidence that you hit those shots. Number three, physical connection. I'm talking about loading the film, pressing the shutter, understanding your settings, unloading the film, dropping off your film to get developed. This process inevitably gives you more of a personal connection to your own work. Number four, film breeds curiosity. Now, with all the different film stocks out there, film thrives off of your curiosity. So what's gonna happen when I test out Ilford HP5 versus, say, Kentmere? Or is Kodak 200 really better than Portra 160? These are all questions that you're gonna ask yourself, but you're not really gonna know the answers until you actually go out there and shoot, test, process. This is the only way you're gonna know what you like, what you don't like, by shooting and practicing and testing. And number five, cash rules. This is the inevitable thing about film. Gone are the days of $3, $4, $5 rolls. It is all about putting money up front. And you don't even know if you develop this film, if you'll like any of it, but you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for those rolls. You gotta keep testing out films to see which ones you like. All of this costs money, and there's no way around it. And that's why so many people go to digital, and I understand it because I shoot digital myself. But the reality is, there is something about that waiting process, that waiting time where you don't know. It's the unknown. And it justifies the money that you're spending, because you say to yourself, well, I feel more connected to these images, so therefore it is worth me dropping some money. That's just how the game goes. So for me, it really comes down to four things: passion, patience, curiosity, and cash. Right now, that's where I'm at with it. And that will change from time to time, because I still do love shooting with my GR II. I love shooting digital. I have that option. We all have that option, but there is something about the process of the unknown. You have to trust your instincts. You have to understand what you're shooting and why you're shooting it. And when you involve money up front in that process, the reality is you will think twice before you press that shutter. All right, so this last year has been my most creative, the most I've ever learned when it comes to photography, the most patient I've been, and the most excited I've felt to shoot in a long, long time. And this isn't only because of my transition into shooting more film, but it definitely played a huge part. It was something new. It brought it back to the process, and there is nothing like the process. It might feel uphill, but I wanted those challenges. I really felt that film brought those challenges back to my photography. All right, so question of the day, film photography. Do you love it? Do you try it? Have you tried it? Are you over it? Let me know in the comments below where you stand when it comes to shooting film. So that's it for another video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for commenting, liking, subscribing. This all means something to me. So let's keep that going. So until the next video, stay creative and believe in yourself. Peace.